guys? Excuse me, my throat's still a little sore. How's everybody doing out there? I'm Vernon Kid here. Excuse me. Here to do my review. Give you a look at the books for the final week of August that I picked up. And see how I enjoyed it. First and foremost, hope everybody is had a great weekend and everything like that. Happy Labor Day, as always. This is being recorded today, Monday, so like I said, I had a little bit more time to basically record and read. But as always, 1 second please, let me get something to drink. Sorry about that. But here I am, guys, once again to deliver a review. And this was a good week. It really was a good week. There were very, very well-written books this week. Excellent, some just there, standard, but there were a pretty good variety of books that you can choose from between both independent, the big two, and things like that. Now, once again, September, guys, we're in the month of September now, and this begins the whole DC Villains Week. As I said before, you will not see me reviewing a lot of DC this month in September. What I'm going to do is, for the villains books, I'm going to buy them later on and do a whole special on them. Like, I'll do a whole special review on the ones that I want to review, the ones that I find that I want to pick up. The ones so far that I've been wanting to pick up happen to be a lot of the Flash ones, with all the Flash. There's one that's going to be dedicated to one of my favorite villainous of the DC Universe, Killer Frost. Definitely want to see how. I love her new look. It looks really cool. I'm looking forward to that. The ventriloquist is getting her own mini origin story, so we're going to get to see her full origin, and that's written by Gail Simone. That's a must. I think there are a few other ones. I think I want to read Joker's daughter or something like that. But other than that, those are just a few that I can think of off the top of my head that I want to read. But let's get into the review. And like I said, I'll be doing that in maybe a big special. Alright, so we're going to kick it off in independent. We're going to kick it off in Dark Horse. And, excuse me. We're going to kick it off with Captain Midnight. If you can see that. Captain Midnight number 2. Joshua Williamson and Fernando Dagnino does the artwork. Dagnino's artwork is just really good. I love it. The coloring by Ego is really cool. And Mr. Williamson still just does a very good job of telling the story of a hero from the 1940s, the dark days of World War II, that has been brought to the modern age, and his whole world is turned upside down in a sense. Captain Midnight, once again, is another pulp hero from back in the days that's being revitalized, guys. And here, basically, Jim Albright, aka Captain Midnight, he's getting the 411 down on what's going on, and he finds out that one of his enemies, who is a known Nazi, his daughter has a company. It's worldwide, it's publicized, everything, and he's like, what the hell is going on? How is it that a Nazi has this kind of corporation in the public eye? And the people, and the agencies and things like that are telling him, after the war, a lot of Nazis were granted amnesty and things like that. So it's kind of a gray side to it. You know, it's kind of, and he's really upset about it. He's really upset about it, but he knows that Ivan Shark, that's the daughter of the man that he once knew, the Nazi scientist, she's trying to kill him, and it's a race against time in a sense for Captain Midnight to discover, find, and you know, get to the bottom of things. But other than that, it's been really good. The ending left you on a really good cliffhanger of, you know, like a dun 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 moment, like, okay, what's gonna happen next? You know, not gonna spoil everything, but it's looking kind of bleak for Captain Midnight and his allies. But still very good job. Keep up the good work, Mr. Williamson. Captain Midnight, very good. Alright. And we stay in Dark Horse, and of course we're talking about Mass Effect Foundation number 2. Now it is saying it's 2 of 13. They've added 2 more parts to, once it was just a 10-part miniseries. But that's cool. Now on the cover, we got Urdnot Rex on the cover. Yeah, you guys know me. I'm a huge Mass Effect fan. I love the games. I love the series. I love the characters. And in this game, once again, Mark Walters does a good job at just continuing his good writing. You know, I mean, he was the lead writer on the second and third game. And Tony Parker artwork is great. The character known as Raza, she is on board she's on the League of trying to get the Rex. She is endowed with the task of finding information about what it looks like, more about the Shadow Broker, but then it turns into something more when Rex gets involved. This kind of gives you a sense of where, if you played the first game, Rex is on the hunt, the bounty hunt for Fisk. We see that in this. And she's trying to play a game of cat and mouse with Rex, trying to keep him from Fisk so she can get to him first, and things like that. We also get to see the character Kai Ling in this, because remember, she works for the Elusive Man now. She's part of excuse me. You know, she works for the Elusive Man, and although the people that are kind of not so good, you know, and it's just a very explosive story that goes on. It's good to see Rex do his thing. You know, remember, this takes place before the first game, so we kind of get to see Rex being a badass bounty hunter that he was. It was a lot of fun, and I enjoyed it very much. Mass Effect Foundation number 2. Okay, turn off the light. It's kind of bright here. Okay, that's a little better. Too bright. Hold on. Too bright. Okay, there we go. Okay. Sorry about that. So we move on to Dynamite, and we're issue number 5 of Green Hornet. Like I said, number 5. Mark Waid. My God. Once again, as I said before, Mr. Waid, what are you smoking? Because I want some. This was just so excellent to read. We come to a crossroads between Britt and basically himself, along with the Sentinel and everything like that. And Britt has come to a crossroads of wondering, has he overstepped his boundaries? Has he taken the step of becoming what he doesn't want to become? He's pretending to be the villain, but has he really become that? Kato has believed that he has crossed that line. And we get an impromptu fight between Kato and the Green Hornet in this battle. But as any great duo and heroes are, when they come to the crossroads, it's either do they sway the path of the righteousness, or do they sway the path of darkness? And we see, in a sense, Britt, his crossroads takes him the left path of righteousness. So now he has to build himself back up with maybe not all of his assets and all of his, to back him up, but at least he has his partner, his friend, his brother, Kato, back. Good storytelling by Mark Waid. It's great stuff. If you are not reading Waid's Green Hornet, I recommend it. It is not too late to jump on board. We're only in 5 issues, and it's just great stuff indeed. God damn. All right, one moment again. Light. I need light. There we go. Perfect. That bright enough for you guys? Okay. We move on to issue number 5 of Ms. Fury. First of all, once again, that Billy Tan cover is beautiful. Alright, so as I talked about with Green Hornet, Ms. Fury, Marla Drake. Beautiful writing by Rob Williams, and Jack Hubert's artwork has always just been superb in this title. Ms. Fury comes to a crossroads herself and trying to figure out who can she really trust. That's basically what this issue is all about. Excuse me. It's all about who can she really trust. Is the people that she's kind of working for the ones she can trust, or the mysterious traveler who's also a Nazi that she met the first night back at the Museum of Natural History. I'll show you this guy right here, that guy right there, and he goes on to explain that he is a Nazi and what he wanted and why he strayed away from what Hitler's plan was and everything like that. And he goes on to tell Marla about everything, like, okay, the people you work for is not who you think they are, this and that, and he gives her the opportunity to change that. Kill the people that you're working for. Now Marla has this huge sniper rifle in her hand. Let me show you it right now. Okay, here's a good shot of it. There's the sniper rifle here. She's just like, she's kind of come to a crossroads. Like, who do I trust? Who do I believe in what this old Nazi is telling me, or do I believe in the people that I'm working with? So she comes to that conclusion. Now I'm not going to spoil everything, but there was some twists in here that were just like, wow. And a lot of stuff is explained a little bit more of the time traveling in terms of her switching back from 1943 into 2013, which is really good. And she really uses her own gut instincts to figure out what is the best for Marla Drake. Good stuff. Move on to IDW. Oh my God. This was Gabi's pick of the week. Once again, guys, I don't do pick of the weeks, but once again, if I was, this would be it. TMNT Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles number 25. Kevin Eastman is just killing it on this title. It is unbelievable. This is part 6, I believe, of City Fall or so. Oh my God, where do I begin with this title? Okay. The Foot are pretty much at war, not just with the Turtles and everything like that, but also with the Savant, the French ninjas. Karai really feels that she's being looked over by her grandfather, the Shredder, because of Leonardo is under his control, and even to the point where Shredder even calls him his Choni, which is, you know, a ranking of a ninja, for all you who don't know that. And Karai don't like it. She is pissed. She's like, you know, just like I was, you know, a lot of things, like Leo uses her as bait at one point, and he's just like, you use me as bait? I'm tired of this. Even some of the other Foot members, like Appel, the Fox mutant that is with the Fox, even says this is not right, things like that. Raph is going on his own suicide mission to try to find Leo, and he's doing things not using his head. He's fueled with anger. Mikey and Donnie are trying to keep everything intact. Master Splinter's off trying to, he's in league a little bit with Old Hub. We see the connection between Casey and April get stronger, which I was finally hoping to see, which was great. You know, April pretty much confessed herself to Casey. We kind of get a little bit of more glimpse of Casey's father, like he's really pissed off now, and we see he has a big reveal on. I'm not going to reveal what we saw on his back, but it was also good. The individual that helped Shredder put the whammy on Leo has been saying, like, his hold, it's not complete because he's still connected to his family and everything like that, and it needs to be done. But there seems to be a coup that's about to happen between Karai and I also love the scene between Michelangelo. My God, I've always said Mikey is one of my favorite of the Turtles, and when they make Mikey step up like they did in this, that's really more reason to say he's not just the fun hips cat of the Turtles, the party animal. He has a side of him he just doesn't show, and we see that in this when, you know, Donnie confronts Raphael, and, you know, he really lays it down on Raph. Now, Raph is older than him, and he lays it down on his older brother. He's like, look, Raph, stop acting. You're acting like a child. You're always wanting to hit us or, you know, beat up. You're fighting your own brothers when we should be joining forces to bring our brother back. And I love that line. That dialogue with Mikey was so good. Matter of fact, I'm going to read it to you right now because it was so good. You know, basically, Donnie and Mikey track down Raph, and, you know, Raph is Donnie's like, you know, basically, you're out of control, Raph, you know, I'll show you out of, and then Mikey just pushes him, and he's like, knock it off, Raph. I'm so tired of you guys always fighting all the time, like a bunch of big babies. You're the biggest one of them all, Raph. Me and Donnie spent the whole day chasing your messes all around town. You say you want to help Leo, but all I see you doing is tearing up stuff, stomping people out, and that's not helping anyone. Now you want to fight your own brothers. Damn, dude, what's your problem? And I love, and he's really like, just, he's just really aggressive on Raph, and it really humbles Raph to the point of him saving him. Raph saying, "I know it's stupid, but it's." He blames himself. Raph blames himself, and we should all know that when Raph blames himself, he gets like that. He gets aggressive and angry, and the only means of communicating is with his fist instead of this. And it was really good to see Mikey do that. But it's the ending of what Karai is building that really, oh my god, I cannot wait. Oh, and I'm not going to spoil that. It just did this Turtles fan's heart so good to see. It was just so good. I'm not even going to say what it was, but it was just great. Once I saw that, I dropped the book like, oh my god, I cannot wait. Thank you, Mr. Eastman. Thank you very much. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 25. Pick up this series, guys. Alright, we move on to Image. And we're looking at Lazarus number 3, excuse me. Roca still just does a fabulous job on this, and I love Michael Lark's artwork. So pretty much forever, she has been sent down to Mexico to meet up with another family. What are they called? The family of the Moray family. And in the process, she meets the Moray family's Lazarus. And his name is what was his name again? Joaquin. That's his name, Joaquin. And she's a guest, and she's there to deliver a message from her father, Malcolm, to the Moray family. In the meantime, her brother and sister, Forever's brother and sister, the twins, Jonah and Joanna, are once again setting a coup to overthrow their father for control of the Carell family. One of my favorite scenes in this is where one of the security guards of the Murray family is talking to Forever, and he's like, "You'll give up your weapons and blade and things like that," and she's like, "We'll have to retain you by force if need be." And Forever's just, "Try it, please try it." Like, here it is right here. She says, "Try it, please try it." And that's when Joaquin comes in and says, she's a guest and everything like that. And he even stands back from the sergeant of the security guard and security and is like, "I would love to see you try to take her sword." She gives up her gun, but she's like, "You're not taking my sword." And then he says, "Your blade." He's pointing the gun at her. "Your blade." And she looks at Joaquin and she's like, and he looks back at her and, "Your blade." Cut, cut, cut. And it was just great. And then Joaquin just finishes off by cutting off his head, and then he's just like, you're the new sergeant in charge of security. Clean up the mess. And we get a sense of Forever, once again, the more evolving of her character, in the sense that she doesn't like to kill. She doesn't like doing the things that, she is the sword of, the Lazaruses are the sword of different families, but she doesn't like it. And we see a connection between her and Joaquin in this, which was really kind of interesting. And it's almost to the sense of like, is there a kind of a build-up love between these two? But the twins' plan is set into fruition, and then we're starting to see just a lot of things coming to her. But other than that, the issue number 3 of Lazarus was really good. It was just standard issue storytelling, but Roca style, but just good. Not a lot of action, but when it was needed, it was needed. When it was not, but the dialogue was so good, you didn't care. But it was really good, very good. Image, keep up the good work with this title. I can tell you right now, Image, you might have me hooked on another series that I see coming out, something called Rocket Girl. With Amy Reeder is going to be co-writing that, and artist. I like Amy Reeder's artwork, really good. So we move on to the last two books from Independent, and we're starting with ZENESCOPE. And the first pretty much we are talking about the first ZENESCOPE book is this new stuff I saw, and I was like, this is interesting. And this is Grimm Fairy Tales presents No Tomorrow. It's all about death. Yeah, look at death. My God, does she look kind of hot but scary at the same time? This is written by Raven Gregory. Cool name. Artwork is done by J.G. Miranda. I hope I'm saying that right. So let me give you a gist of the story. All right, death is death is nature, part of life. But what happens when it goes rogue? A new horror enters the Grimm universe, and it's one whose name is spoken in hushed tone and fearful whispers. Karis, the goddess of death, will wreak havoc on an unexpected Earth, and one family man will feel the effects more than any other. When death arrives at the doorstep, there is no tomorrow. Alright, so pretty much in the first part of this 5-part miniseries, we enter Denver International Airport. We're in Denver. And you're seeing people's Monday life going on. Little boy is scared to fly. His mom's trying to comfort him, and everything like that, saying it's safe, everything like that. You see a brother and sister meeting up, I guess, and then all of a sudden we get what looks like an earthquake in Denver, but it's not an earthquake. Death has arrived, and we just see her singing and just walking through, leaving wreck and havoc. And then next you know, people are dead. And we just see death whistling, and it's like, what the hell? And so we enter basically a family man who name is Pat, who works in Chicago, and he's greeted by his kids. They're saying happy 40th birthday, Dad, everything like that. Monday family life. He's cool, everything's like that. And he's inside his office building, going to work, everything like that. And he recognizes a new employee. She's very quiet. She don't talk. She's kind of pale looking, red hair, and he's just like, "Excuse me, hi, you must be new. How you doing?" And things like that. And she's not talking. Excuse me. And he starts to ask some of his other employees, like, "Hey, you guys know about the new employee? Who is she? She's really quiet, And they're like, yeah, she just don't talk a lot. She just..." And he goes to see his boss, and everything just starts to go bleak. And Pat starts to see things from the corner of his eye, even when he sees the very quiet girl. And things just start going crazy. Afterwards, he sees death. He sees her. Death was actually the quiet girl, and she's just walking through the office building singing this tune again. If I'm not mistaken, they said it was what was it again? I'm just make sure I remember what it was. She's singing Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata. That's all she sings. And he's just like, hey, come here, you with the you in the black, come here. And every time, and then all of a sudden he leaves the office building this is what happens to the office boy. Destruction. And he's just like, please someone help me, and you just see death leaving. And it's to be continued. So in a sense now, they say the next issue is, after encountering death, Patrick finds himself haunted by the mysterious Pale Woman. As Patrick investigates the recent tragedies that have been following him, he will discover that once death has chosen you, there is no tomorrow. So this was really very, very interesting to read. It just gives you that eerie feeling like, okay, death has chosen him, and you can't run away from death. You can't hide from death. And so if anybody else picked up this title, this new ZENESCOPE miniseries, tell me what you thought about this. This was just really good. And Mr. Gregory or Ms. Gregory, I don't know. I'm hoping I'm not confusing. I hope you're a woman. I'm hoping you're a woman. I've never heard a man be called Raven, other than superheroes or something like that. But if this is a female writing it, well done, ma'am. But if it's a male, well done again. You have me hooked. I have to see how Patrick gets out of this, or does he escape death? She's gone rogue. Yeah. Not a good sight. Robin Hood Wanted number 4. Patrick Shant. Pat Shant. Mr. Shant. Much love and respect to you, bro. As always, much love and respect to you. You continue to thrill me with this, with your ramification of Robin Hood. I'm a huge Robin Hood fan. I don't care, and this Robin Hood being female doesn't even matter. This is one of my favorite of the Grimm universe, the Grimm fairy tale stories. I love this. So Robin is still in, she's in the Mist. She's in Nottingham, and her and Will Scarlet are on the run. They're trying to figure out what's going on, and she comes across some villagers that she's helped before, and all the villagers are like, oh, Robin, the legend has returned. She'll help us, free us from, Guy of Gisborne and everything like that. And Guy's plans are starting to come out a little bit more. And pretty much she is attacked by these highborns, these demons. That's what they're called, highborns. And one of them stops her, because we get a more sense that she's kind of connected to them a lot more, these demonic creatures, and we get a little bit more sense of it in her backstory, in the sense we get a little more of that. Remember that Robin is connected to the Mist even more, thanks to Shang, who told her. You can find Shang in the Realm Knights. But Robin, once again, is always diligent, and she's like, you know what, I'll follow my own path. I'm not going to follow what you want me to be. And just really good storytelling. And we finally get to see who the new sheriff of Nottingham really is. And not going to spoil who that is, but it's somebody Robin has come into contact with. And it's just really good. Really good indeed. Robin Hood Wanted number 4. 4 or 5. One more issue to go. Well done indeed. Thank you, Mr. Shant. Once again, much love and respect to you. Alright, so we move on to DC. And like I said, guys, if you watched the haul video, I gave up a couple of books to other customers because they were sold out, and that's just the kind of guy I am. I'm like, I read them in store. Like, I read The Dark Knight really good. I read Red Lanterns, really good. And the Teen Titans was one of the Titans have left the team. Bunker has left the team to go back to his lover. I'm fine with that, can't stop love. But I gave up some of those titles because some other customers wanted them, and they were just like, man, I wish I'd have got it. So I'm like, ma'am, sir, here, you want Red Lanterns? Yeah, I'll just get them. I'll get the second, shipment when they come in. The people at my comp, they'll put it aside for me. So I'm like, okay. But these 3 books that I picked up from four were still very entertaining. I was still really impressed, and we're going to kick it off with Aquaman number 23. Jeff Johns, Paul Pelletier. Jeff Johns is best title he's writing. I've got to put it like that. Best title he's writing compared to his Justice League. This is really the book that he's doing just a fine job on, and I keep forgetting that he's about to leave this title too. I believe. Yes. I think this is the book he's leaving as well. But in this issue alone, Mira and Arthur are just literally swimming for their lives. Not really, but they're swimming. Trying to get away from the dead king, who is supposed to be the real king of Atlantis, and his minions. Mira goes on to tell Arthur a lot about what's going on and everything like that. But Arthur tells Mira, I don't care what secret you hide from me. You need to know one thing, Mira. I love you, and basically, I'll die for you. I'm not afraid to admit that. Meanwhile, Atlantis is being attacked, and also we have Tula and the other 2 Atlanteans getting ready to free Orm out of his prison at Blackgate. And it's just a really fast-paced book. But it's maybe fast-paced, but it's told so well that you don't mind all the, switching from meanwhile here. It's just really just good stuff, and it keeps you going. It's just like, what's happening next? What's going to happen next? A lot of the members of some of the members of the Atlantean army who are defending Atlantis are like, the king has abandoned us and everything like that. And you got one of the older soldiers telling him the king will never abandon us. He's really loyal, and I love that. I was loving that, how loyal he was. What was his name again? Damn it. I think his name was Urin. Yeah, Urin. Yeah, Urin. I think, yeah, Urin. And pretty much Arthur comes back. He does come back, and he does all he can to protect Atlantis, to the point where I love what Arthur did. He summoned this huge creature, like something that he was talking to in a previous issue before. He's been trying to control this thing, for a long time, and he's just literally concentrating his communication with the sea life, and you just see him like you see the bunga 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 bunga, and he's just like, and he's doing it so he's straining himself so hard to control this creature. He's bleeding from his nose. Mira's telling him, Arthur, please stop, you're killing yourself, and he's like, no, I have to, and he's just trying to protect Atlantis. He's just doing what he can, and he's just like, he's just really. And you really felt for Arthur in that, but you're just like, go Arthur, go, protect Atlantis, and it gets so bad. What happens? I'm not going to spoil what happens at the end, but wow, just really good storytelling by this. But now we have to wait till October for Aquaman 24 because they're doing the whole Villains Month. The first story is about Black Manta, and then the other one is about Ocean Master. I think I might pick up one of the two. I think it'd be Black Manta I read. But this was just really good. Really good indeed. I loved it. This is probably one of the best titles under the New 52. I've been loving this just so much. And once again, like I said, who's the joke now, huh? Who's the joke now? So we move on to Flash number 23, and once again, I said that cover is badass and it's bitching. That's a bitching cover. Love that cover. At the mercy of Reverse Flash. Francis Manipool, Brian Buccello. Once again, much love and respect to both of you. You have just been killing it on Flash. This issue alone, you talk about, we all know Flash is the fastest man in the world. Scarlet Speedster, right? Right. This lives up to the title. This is nothing but fast-paced, action-packed, from start to finish between a fight between Reverse Flash and Barry Allen Flash. It's going back and forth. They're just fighting each other. Flash is doing all he can as the typical Boy Scout hero, trying to keep the innocent protected from the Reverse Flash. Lead him outside of the city to fight him. We got Iris and Patty, talking and things like that, and we're kind of seeing that Patty, yeah, she is maybe becoming a little bit jealous when Barry is around Iris. But once again, just like my mentor Gabi said, Barry is a Boy Scout. He would never cheat on his girlfriends. And he's a good man, he's a Boy Scout. He's a good man. He's not going to cheat on her. So she has nothing to worry about. But I hate seeing that in Patty, of this insecurity that she feels that Iris is just sneaking in and trying to steal. And I just pulled the Two-Face. I just pulled the Zeb Coulter. But no, true. It feels that, yeah, she is feeling like Iris is sneaking in to try to steal, Barry from her. But ain't nothing going on like that. But just really good storytelling. When Iris finds out who the Reverse Flash is, oh my god. Now, I'm not going to spoil shit about who the Reverse Flash is. I'm not even going to give you any clues. Usually I give you some clues, but I'm not. It threw me for a loop, but I had a little suspicion they may connect it like that. But thank God it wasn't who I think we all were fearing DC was going to say, hey, you want this character back? Here you go. But no, it was really good. Just really good. Flash number 23. Alright. First off, let me move on. I'm going to, because the next book, because I'm going to spoil the hell out of that book. Let's go to Talon, number 11. James Tillion IV and Simon Kudransky does the artwork. And Kudransky's artwork in this is really dark, but it fits the Talon universe really well. So basically, Talon basically is pretty much on Santa Prisca with Bane. Him and his allies are surrounded by Bane and his soldiers who are hooked up on Venom, as well as cybernetics as well, and things like that. Calvin, in the meantime, back in Gotham, Casey Washington has gotten into the Gotham PD thinking that she was dead, but she's not, and she used the bat signal to call Batman. But little did she know that the Butcher, that big brooding Talon, is still on her trail, and he captures her. He grabs her, and we get a fight between the Butcher and Batman. Pretty decent. But in the meantime, we have Calvin and his team fighting on Santa Prisca and all these venomous soldiers, and we get a really good kind of battle between Bane and Calvin. But it's not really a battle. Bane is really looking at Calvin like he's a coward, because he's an escape artist. All he does is run, and he's trying to play head games with Calvin. He's like, you all you do is run. What kind of man are you? You don't fight. Calvin is leading him darker into the Santa prison, and Bane is like, you think you can get the best of me? I was born here. This is where I grew up, alone and scared. Alone. This is where my strength comes from. And Bane thinks he's getting to Calvin, but he's not. Calvin does a whole 360 on him and shows him that, yeah, I run a lot. I'm an escape artist, but that is my strength. And I've already won this battle, Bane. You lost. And it was really well done. I loved it. I really loved it. However, where Batman is still fighting the Butcher, he finally is able to use his wits, of course, and pretty much get to Casey Washington and tell her, basically, you have to, and she's basically telling, he's basically telling, Bruce, like, you have to help him. Bane is about to set an army on Gotham, Venom on Gotham, everything like that, and pretty much. But she also tells Batman, please promise me you'll get my daughter out of the Court of Owls. They have her. They're trying to brainwash her, and so on and so forth. But Batman's like, okay, we need to get you to a hospital, Miss Washington. You're bleeding. You're bleeding out. And he tells Commissioner Gordon, get her to a hospital, Jim, now. He's yelling at her, Jim, get her to a hospital. And he contacts Calvin, and Calvin's like, Batman? And he's like, how'd you get this? And he's like, never mind that. And he's like, look, if I don't talk to Casey, he's like, that's going to be a problem, Calvin. She's badly wounded. She's been taken to the hospital. And things like that. And, basically, he wants to know what's threatening Gotham, and, in a certain, and it just really gets really good. But the alliance between Bane and Sebastian Clark has come to an end because Bane kills him at the end of the book. He just punches his head right off. I'm not even joking about that. You want to see? Look, he cracks his head right off. But once again, this we have to wait till October because this leads into the Bane story continues in. It says Bane stories continues in Forever Evil Arkham War. Once again, but other than that, well done indeed. All right. Justice League 23. This is the final part of the Trinity War. Jeff Johns, Ivan Reyes, Joe Perdomo, Parado. I'm butchering it. I apologize. People like that. All right. Where do I begin with this? All right. Pandora's box has been opened. All right. It has corrupted a lot of people, including people like Billy Batson. Now Billy looks more like, as you can see here, look at him up in the corner. Billy looks like Black Adam now. It's corrupted everybody. comes in contact with, except for John Constantine. Or Constantine, however you pronounce it. But they all know they have to get rid of this box. And in the meantime, we see the real culprit watching along and everything like that. We find out that Pandora's box is the reason why, we thought Pandora's box was the reason why Superman is poisoned. It's magic. It should be killing him, but it's just really just playing messing with a lot of people's heads. It's having their feelings come out even more. Superman's talking about, I gotta kill Batman and everything like that. Steve Trevor's like, screw Superman saving him. He stole my woman, Diana and everything like that. Here it is right here, a big fold out of, him saying, I gotta kill Batman, and Wonder Woman trying to stop him and everything like that. We find out that what's really why he is being physically hurt, and Firestorm finally realizes what's hurting Superman, and he even says it. He says, the box might be making all of us a little crazy in the head, but I don't think it's making Superman sick. He said, I didn't see it because it's so faint, but it's getting stronger. And Diana says, what's Firestorm? What's getting stronger? And he says, I see it. And both Ronnie, the two boys that are inside, he says, yeah, I see it too, Ronnie. Superman is emitting some kind of radiation, and he says, we couldn't have recognized it without Amanda Waller's help, because Amanda Waller has been trying to get Firestorm to create kryptonite, and he's like, it's kryptonite, and she's like, yeah, it's poison. There's a small fragment of kryptonite inside his head. It's in his bloodstream, and that's what's killing him. And then Element Woman says, I can turn into oxygen and go inside his bloodstream and get it out. And she says it's in his brain. It's microscopic. It's like a microscopic sliver in his brain. Once again, I'm spoiling the hell out of this guy. And Cyborg is like, okay, how did a microscopic sliver of kryptonite get inside Superman's brain? And then all of a sudden, look who says, "Oh, that's easy. That's easy. That's easy, Vic. It's an easy question to answer, Cyborg. The atom. I put it there." It was like, what? Yeah, the atom. She's not with the JLA or the Justice League. She's the culprit. She is the inside traitor of the team. She's the mole. And basically, she even goes on to say, yeah, when we were going up against the JLA, I went inside Superman's brain with the sliver of kryptonite, took from Batman's ring, and I hit a nerve and triggered his heat vision. That's why Superman, his heat vision went out of control and he killed Dr. Light. And, she's just really smug about it. She's like, yeah, I did it. Yeah, I did it. She's like, yeah, I did it. And Cyborg's like, yeah. So he's like, so you're the traitor? And he's like, oh, Vic, honey, so are you. And he says, and then all of a sudden something starts happening to Cyborg. And he's like, yes, no. And then, look what fucking happens to Cyborg, man. Like, his cybernetics start just coming off of him. And literally, Batman's like, Victor! Like, he's like, and his cybernetic parts become sentient. And he becomes this person called Grid. The cybernetic parts become Grid. And basically, it's Simon Baz's Green Lantern that is literally keeping whatever body parts of Cyborg together before him dying. And finally, we get to realize who this mysterious top hat person really is. And you're not going to believe this, guys. I swear, it's just like, what? And we finally realize that the Pandora's box, or the skull, is not magic. It's actually science, and it's from another world, and that world is the birthplace of evil. And I love the, and I have to admit, I have to admit, I've laughed at this line all the time. You were looking for who was behind this, as you say on your world, the butler did it. I'm like, what? And we find out, all of a sudden the doorway opens up, and look who comes through the doorway. Aquaman. But a badass looking Aquaman who's got the hook now, and he dies, and you know, Batman's just trying to keep Victor alive. He's just trying to keep Cyborg alive. And I swear to God, DC, if you kill off Cyborg, I will drop this title really quickly. I will drop it. You know, this is the only reason why I keep reading this, because of Cyborg. I will drop it if you don't do something right with Victor. And all of a sudden, basically, we finally get to realize that the doorway is to Earth 3. And all of a sudden, we see the crime syndicate comes through. There's Ultraman, Superwoman, Owlman, people like that. And that's who the Atom is working for. And then you see the Butler, the Earth 3 counterpart of Alfred. And basically he's like, welcome to our new home, Master Thomas. And it took you long enough, Alfred. And yeah, it's like, what? And now basically they say this world belongs to the Crime Syndicate, and the story continues in Forever Evil. I'm not sure I'll read it by Forever Evil, but I think I will read it in store and things like that, just to keep up what's going on. But yeah, I'm telling you right now, if you, DC, I swear, if you kill off Cyborg or anything like that, I'm dropping the book. I will drop it quickly, very quickly. But I have a feeling they're just gonna upgrade Cyborg again. But don't kill him off. That is the only reason that keeps me reading that book. It has nothing to do with the other heroes. It has everything to do with Cyborg. Right? And that's it. Captain America number 10. Rick Remender, John Romita Jr. Escape from Dimension Z. This is it. The final part to the Dimension Z story arc. This was really sad. We get a death in this issue. A very serious death blow to Steve. I'm not going to spoil who that death was, but it really hurts. It really hurts Steve a lot. But it's a race against time to get out of Dimension Z before it goes kablooey, you know. Yeah, and it was really good storytelling. Rick Remender still does a good job, but it's just the fact that, yeah, it's could go kablooey, and you know, we get a death. And it was like, I was like, wow, Mr. Render, I didn't think you would do that, but yeah. Now, am I going to spoil that death? No. But it was really good. And I love the line, a man further out of time. You know, it's just, you know, Steve, I've never seen Steve pushed to the limits that he was pushed in this. Throughout this whole story arc, he was just pushed to the limit. And so now he's back home now. And I think the next thing they're going to have him deal with is Nuke. So that's going to be really interesting. But yeah, this was really sad. Very sad to me. Just to me. It was to me. New Avengers, number 9. Jonathan Hickman, Mike Deodato. This was just fantastic. Fantastic. So, since we got the previous knowledge of what in the last issue in Infinity, between what happened with Black Adam, this connects a lot to it. You know, Black Adam's what happened with Black Adam in the first issue of Infinity. So pretty much Thanos sends out the Black Order, this group of individuals that he leads, to go and obtain the Infinity Gems. Now we all know the Illuminati supposedly has the Infinity Gems. So each member of the Black Order has been sent to different members of the Illuminati. So they go to Wakanda, they go to the Xavier, Jean Grey school, they go to the Sanctum Sanctorum, they go here. That everybody who has a connection with one of the Infinity Gems. And it's just really good storytelling and good artwork, very good. I love Black Panther in this. He just showed why don't sleep on T'Challa, why he's a badass. Namor does something in this just once again just shows you what a complete dick Namor is. And it was almost to the point when I read it, I was like, oh, Namor, is that's how you segue into getting a little payback for what happened to Atlantis when T'Challa had nothing to do with it? It was like, really? It was like, oh my god. And Namor just came off as a total dick in this. Really did, once again. It's not surprising, but, you would figure, he wouldn't be so easily to just bow down, in a sense. But very good indeed. Alright. We move on to Scarlet Spider, number 21. Christopher Yosh just continues to impress me with this title. Because you demanded it, Ben Reilly, the original Scarlet Spider. I ain't demand shit. Okay, I never wanted Ben Reilly back. Okay, but this is another. This seems to be another storytelling of cat and mouse, but also mind games that is being played with Kane. Someone is taking Kane's allies. Kane is really flipping out. He's scared. He's angry. He's thinking that he's deteriorating again. He's getting. Remember, back in the 90s, Kane was blue. He had all like these scars all over his face and everything like that because of his skin duration and things like that. So he feels that's happening again, and he doesn't want his allies near him, including, his female ally, Aranceli. I can't never pronounce her name right. But all of a sudden, what looks to be Ben Reilly back. Is like, what? Now, I've always loved the Scarlet Spider, Ben Reilly's Scarlet Spider's costume. I always thought it was cool. But, he's kind of coming off like, you're calling yourself the Scarlet Spider now and everything like that. And, it just really makes you wonder. It's like, what's going on? Is this in Kane's head or not? things like that. And we get it. We start to figure it out later on, that it was all in his head. And it was done because of some kind of effects from something that was injected into him. And we get to see who that person really is, who was underneath the Scarlet Spider costume. Not going to spoil who that is, but this is going to be big to see this character go up against Kane. Very good indeed. Good stuff. Thanos Rising number 5. This is the last part to this miniseries. Jason Aaron's, fantastic job, sir. Simone Blanchi, great artwork. This is basically Thanos comes back to Titan, wage sieges on. He just blows it the fuck up to kind of impress his love. Who's his love? Death. And there's only one survivor left on Titan. His father. His father is really upset, not just at himself, but because of the fact that everybody was telling him that he is evil. You have to kill him. And there is a chance, there's a crossroads where his father has the chance to once again. But he can't do it. He can't do it. So basically, Thanos says, okay, father, I knew you couldn't do it. Give me the gun. Thanos shoots himself with the gun, doesn't even singe the guy. Shit. But then he's like, now I can get married. You're going to be a witness to my wedding, to my one true love. And his father's like, who are you talking to? Like, who are you talking to? There's no one there, son. And she's standing right beside you, father. And it just gets really crazy. So now, in a sense, it comes to the point where Thanos is looking, it looks like the reason why he's called the Mad Titan is, it has Aaron's, it seems to be writing the way I looked at it, was like Aaron's is writing that. The reason why he's called the Mad Titan is not because he's big and things like that, and he's kind of, because he's kind of, no one's really up there anymore. He's kind of crazy now. But this was just really good, really good storytelling by Jason Aaron. He did a fantastic job on this. It truly makes you appreciate Thanos a lot more if you didn't already. If you didn't have a lot of respect for Thanos, you know, just calling him, oh, he's just a knockoff Darkseid, blah, 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 blah. You really get a better understanding for Thanos in this. And understand, in a sense, you get a little bit inside his head. Even though you probably don't want to be in his head, but you get a little more sense of it. But, yeah. Thor, God of Thunder, number 12. Jason Aaron's. Eric Rivix is not on this. We got Nick Klein. I've seen Nick Klein's artwork during his Winter Soldier run. It's decent. And in this, this is probably the best issue it looked the best in. This is probably the best comic it looked the best in, because I didn't like too much how it looked in the Winter Soldier. But in this issue, it's Thor. He has returned back to Midgard, you know, back to Earth after his dealings with, you know, Gore and all that. And he's just visiting a lot of people, you know, a lot of people that he knows, old friends of his, old mortal friends, and things like that. He even goes to a prison to, you know, say his last goodbyes to this prisoner who's on death row. And I love the line where he comes into the prison and he walks through and the metal detector and goes beep 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 beep, and the security guard's like, sorry, Mr. Thor, sir, but I'm gonna have to ask you to leave your hammer. And one of the older guards is like, never mind all that, Lance. Sorry, sir. The kid's new. And so he's like, what the hell? Like, we can't just have him going in there with a hammer the size of Pyrrhus. And he says, it doesn't matter, kid. Trust me. Nobody in this place could pick it up anyway. So it's kind of funny. And he goes from there. He goes to say goodbye to... This was just a really good storytelling of just Thor returning back to Midgard and being around people. He's telling stories to a couple of these, these kids of an orphanage. He's talking to a couple of nuns. He's paying his respects to the Dalai Lama. It's really cool. He's having a drink with a lot of war veterans. He's helping out people in the Sudan who's, not a lot of rain. He's dealing with a lot of anti-Christ people. He even goes to, goes to the helicarrier Shield, and he dances with one of the Shield, people who graduated from Shield, and is now a agent of Shield now, and things like that. And of course, his real final, true final stop is Broxton, Oklahoma, and he talks to Jane Foster, and we find out since Thor's been gone, Jan has gonna spoil this for you guys. Jan has cancer. Jane Foster has cancer. She's 6 weeks ago she had a lump removed from her. She started chemo, and she's talking. And you can see it right here. She's just really, Thor's just like, he's really upset about it. He's like, how this happen? Who did this to you? He's thinking somebody did this to her. And Jane's like, it's cancer, Thor. Here on Earth, it happens all the time. It wasn't anybody's fault. It happened, and things like that. And she's just like, now sit down and just drink your tea. And he's like, I have to go. And she's like, no, I must go away. I have to find a healing stone, or perhaps a magic elixir from a wizard. And Jane is like, no, Thor, no, no, you're not going down that road again, not again. No magic stones, no healing fountains, no Odin magic, no nothing. I'm a doctor. I'll fight the battle with plain old earth magic, or earth medicine. And if this is how I die, I'm going out swinging. And that puts a smile on Thor's face, and he's like, you're a brave woman. And she says, no, I'm just a regular woman. This is just something that women do. Now sit down and drink your tea. She keeps saying that, drink it. And we see that Jane has got a boyfriend now again, and he's kind of like really kind of he's a little jealous around Thor, because that's Thor's old girlfriend. So he's like, and she even says it, this new boyfriend, Walter, son of Bob, seller of real estate, methinks he doth not like me. And she's like, he's dating a girl whose ex-boyfriend just flew in from space on a magic hammer. You can understand his feelings, things like that. But Thor does something for Jane that's really nice. She goes on to talk about, is there anybody special in your life? How are you and Sif? How are things between you and Sif? And Thor goes and say, Sif and I seem to be drifting apart in decent months. This does not seem the time to discuss such a matter. Basically, he's saying that Sif and him have kind of their relationship is kind of falling apart, and it's like, wow, that's really interesting. I wouldn't have thought that. I thought Sif and Thor, this, but pretty much, Thor does something for Jane. He takes her. He flies her up to the moon. He flies her up to the moon, and I'm like, now wait a minute. You got Jan without any oxygen up on the moon, Thor? Are you crazy? You'll kill her. Then when I read what she said, she's like, funny how they never teach you in school that there's a blue area on the moon where you can breathe the air. So I'm like, okay, alright, so something like that. And him and Jane just watch the sunset dip over Earth, and I was like, oh, that's nice. They're still friends, really sweet, but it was just really good storytelling by Aarons. He was just really trying to, show Thor's not just the God of Thunder, and things like that, the Avenger. He's a good man. He's one of the coolest gods in the Marvel universe that you can love. And he has friends that are not just superheroes. He has ordinary friends, and it was just really good storytelling, and I loved it. This was just really touching. I'm hoping Jane fights this to the end. I hope she doesn't die. I hope she conquers her cancer. But the next issue, yeah, Malakesh, the Accuser, is coming back. So yeah, baby, I'm looking forward to that. All right. Moving along. Almost done, guys. You still with me? Okay. Ultimate Spider-Man number 26. This is the Spider-Man No More. Well, old Miles is back in the costume. Yeah, he's back in the costume. And this is almost really a story of who Bombshell really is, kind of where she came from, how she got her powers, everything like that. Not going to spoil how she got her powers in terms of who she got it from. Well, I don't want to spoil who she got it from, but you can kind of take a guess where she got it from. Alright. And Miles is back in the costume along with Jessica Drew, Spider-Woman, and they're chasing down. They don't want to fight Bombshell, but they want to help her. And Miles tries to web her, misses her, and he's like, "Oh man, I'm out of practice." He's like, "Oh my god, I'm out of practice." And it's funny just seeing Jessica, like, what did she say again to him? It was so funny when he missed it. She's like, "Oh God, you suck. Whose fault is that?" And so she has to web him. Now remember, her webbing comes out of her fingers. I was like, so she just points and it comes out. I'm like, and they grab her. So they're trying to tell her, like, look, we're not here to fight you. We want to help. Are you a mutant? Don't even think that. Like, where'd you get your powers from? I don't want to spoil where she gets her powers from, but we know the Roxton Corporation is involved in this. We do get, once again, a little bit more of Cloak and Dagger, which was really good. It was really sweet. I loved it. Basically Tara and Tyrone, Cloak and Dagger, professing themselves for each other, saying, "I'm madly in love with you." That stuff like there gets me. I'm like, okay. But we find out that we also get the ultimate debut of the ultimate version of the Taskmaster in this, and he's cool. He's all right. He's actually black in this one. He's African American in this. I'll show you what he looks like, guys. That's him right there. That's the Taskmaster in this. But very good storytelling by Bendis once again. Like I said, I don't want to spoil where Bombshell really got her powers from, but if you read this, then you'll understand why I didn't spoil that. But it was really good. It ends on a cliffhanger, and you kind of wonder where it's going to go from there. But good stuff. Alright, issue 11 of Uncanny Avengers. Oh my god, this is so dialogue heavy. My god. It took me a while to read this because I'm reading every panel. Almost every freaking panel was the thought bubbles, like, not like this, not like this, like, they just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger. And I'm like, oh my god. But Rick Miranda, Daniel Acuna artwork, really good. But I'm technically, guys, I can admit right now, I'm getting totally burnt out on these Apocalypse Twins. I'm really like, oh god, like, oh come on, like, would somebody just take these guys out for now? It's getting on my nerves now. It's just like, come on, like, it's like, who are you really following? Whose orders are you following? Are you the lapdogs of Kang, or are you following your own destiny? That's how I look at it. But yeah, it is very dialogue heavy. There was a good scene that I liked between Shiro, Sunfire, and Rogue. And yeah, I was glad to see they actually have Rogue speaking in her southern accent, so you actually see her saying "ah" instead of "I," you know, and sugar and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, don't have Rogue lose that accent. You know, she may be North a lot, but she's still a Southern. She's still the Southern Belle. Let her be the Southern Belle. You know what I'm saying? You know, there's a great scene between Daken, who I don't fucking care about at all. I wasn't impressed by him in the beginning. I never thought he was tough. I didn't like him in the first place. He can kiss my ass. I don't like Daken. I don't like the Sentry. I don't care they're back. They can go to hell. They could have stayed dead for all I care. But I didn't mind. I don't mind Banshee coming back. That's cool. I was always fond of Banshee, and you know, things like that. But you know, Daken, kiss my ass. Sentry can kiss my ass too. You know, but you know, just so. Other than that, it's just really dialogue heavy, guys. Just, oh my god. I can't wait till this story arc is over between the Apocalypse Twins. Just give us a new storyline, Mr. Miranda, please. You know, it's just like, come on. I'm tired of them now. I'm really tired of them. Just really am. I'm just really burnt out on them. Last book. Hope you guys are still with me. Last book. Wolverine and X-Men 35. This is the final part of the Hellfire Saga. Action-packed to begin with. Look on the cover. We got Kid Omega and Oya. Yeah, as on the cover. They are now a couple. I'm gonna spoil that for you. They're a couple now. This was just action-packed from the get-go. The X-Men now take the fight to the Hellfire Club. They found the Hellfire Club school, and they're just taking everything. We got everybody fighting, including Toad. He's fighting Husk, aka Paige Guthrie, and he's trying to get her to stop. We got Wolverine and all of them fighting. You know, we thought we were going to see the rest of the Hellfire Club kill Cade, Kilgore. I'm not going to spoil that, but yeah, it's just really badass, just really action-packed. Kilgore just flipped his wig. He's just freaking crazy. And we kind of get a sense of a dissension in the ranks of this new Hellfire Club. But other than that, very good storytelling. You know, it was good to see what happened to Brood, the little Brood boy. You know, Brood is he's back. He's back, and he's back to normal, and it was something because of what happened to him. Wolverine tries to save his brother Dog. You know, he's like, "Dog, come with us, come on." And Dog is like, "No, never." You know, he don't. It's like, you know, screw you, and things like that. You know, and Wolverine's like, "Okay, everybody, grab a bomb, and we're out of here." And pretty much, you know, good triumphs over evil, in a sense. It's good to know. And I love the line where Kid Omega, what he says, you know, so this is how it feels to be a good guy. Not bad. Better than always losing, that's for sure. So in a sense, we're getting to see more of Kid Omega's, Quentin Quires, character evolve. Like, he's starting to realize and understand it's not good to be an asshole. You know, being a hero ain't that bad. You know, it's cool. And this is just always just a really fun book. It's always entertaining. I'm always looking forward to reading Wolverine and the X-Men. Like I said, I tolerate Nick Bradshaw's artwork. I don't like, you know, the pudgy faces too much, but I can tolerate it. And you know, what was that line that Wolverine said? He said once they got the kids back, he's closing down the school. Well, it's about time you all got here. What's the matter? You people forget we got a school to run? So he ain't closed it down. And I love the line by Iceman. He's a Skrull. I'm not complaining, mind you, but he's definitely a Skrull. But it's good to see. And it's kind of funny because even some of the two of the members of the former Hellfire Club are now part of the school now. I'm not going to spoil who those two are, but yeah. And the ending, look at my face. You know, that put a smile on my face at the ending for that. Looking forward to that. Looking forward to that. But that is it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this pretty long review. Sorry, but I had a lot to talk about. I'll see you guys next time, as always. You know, if anything comes up, I'll inform you guys. But if not, I'll be on schedule as always. But other than that, guys, this is my Wolverine Kid saying peace, one love, stay tuned, keep it real, guys, as always. I'll see you guys around, as always. And ta-ta for now.